Girls, now we are going to see ordinal analysis. Ordinal analysis. What do you mean by that? Cardinal approach already you have studied, isn't it? Cardinal means utility can be measured. So we can measure the utility, how much we have, the amount of goods we have consumed, and how much of satisfaction we received from the consumed goods. So it can be measured by numbers, numerical term. That is cardinal analysis. This is ordinal analysis. Who has given this analysis? First one, an Edgeworth, who is an English economist. He belongs to England, English economist, and also Wilfred Pareto. An Italian economist. An Italian economist, they criticize the cardinal utility. That is, utility cannot be measured. It is a subjective matter. We can only feel the satisfaction. We cannot measure the satisfaction. So these are all the criticism criticized by these two economists, Edgeworth and Wilfredo Pareto. So what they assumed that utility can't be measured, can't be measured, but it can be ranked. Ranked or ordered. What do you mean by that? Ordinal numbers you have studied, isn't it? Ordinal analysis, ordinal numbers, cardinal numbers you have studied. 1, 2, 3 is cardinal. Ordinal means first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So arranging in the priority, preference order. That is, so utility can be ranked. By consuming the goods, you can measure the utility by rank, by giving the preference. For example, if I consumed apple and oranges, which is the best? I will give apple as the first. So while you are ranking the consumed goods, it is ordinal analysis. So he first developed the most scientific analysis of consumer behavior, because it is subjective matter, isn't it? It is based on the psychology of the consumer. So first he given the consumer analysis, consumer behavior, and it is developed by indifference approach. And it is developed as indifference approach in the year 1881. And then in 1906, Pareto, he modified his Edgeworth approach, and again J.R. Kix and R.G.D. Allen. These are the two economists who has given this ordinal approach. J.R. Kix and R.G.D. Allen. These two economists, they refined this theory in the year 1934, and in 1939, J.R. Kix in his book Value and Capital, value and capital, he gave the final shape of indifference curve analysis. So in this book only he given this approach as indifference curve analysis. What do you mean by that? Now we are going to see the indifference curve analysis. So at first, Edgeworth, an English economist, and Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, they criticized the cardinal utility. That utility cannot be measured, it can be only ranked. And they, Edgeworth, because he studied the consumer behavior and he gave a theory, that is indifference approach, in the year 1881. Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, in the 1906, he developed the indifference curve approach, and then he modified the Edgeworth approach, and then in 1934 J.R. Hicks and R.G. Allen, they refined the theory, and J.R. Hicks in the year 1939 in his book Value and Capital, he given the theory of indifference curve analysis. Now let us see what is indifference curve analysis. So this theory is based on the scale of preference. As I said already, while we are consuming different varieties of goods, we can only give preference. We can give ranks. Which is the best, or from which goods I got the more satisfaction. So we can rank the goods based on our satisfaction. So this theory is based on the scale of preference. And a rational consumer, usually he wants to consume two goods, and also he wants to get more satisfaction or equal satisfaction from both goods, isn't it? He wanted to get equal satisfaction from the goods that he consumed. A rational consumer, usually he prefers a combination of goods which give him maximum level, equal level, maximum level of satisfaction, utmost level of satisfaction by the combination of goods. So, he can arrange the goods and their combination in order of their satisfaction. For example, I already told you, if you want to buy fruits or dress materials or two dresses, two type of fruits, or if you want to purchase something else, furniture material. If you want to do two things, that means two goods. So, two types things. If you want to purchase, for example, a sari and a chudidar. First you will give rank, isn't it? You should give preference. Which should be given more preference. For example, as I said, you have 2000 rupees in your hands. So you will give preference. Which should be given preference. For example, you can give 1500 for this and 500. By consuming both the goods, you will get the maximum satisfaction. Either you can give preference to sari and secondary to chudidar. Whatever it may be, you have to get maximum satisfaction by consuming both the goods. That is the rational consumer. So, in order to get the level of satisfaction, it is called the scale of preference. Why it is called the scale of preference? Because he consumed two goods in order to get maximum satisfaction from the goods. Now we are going to see what are all the assumptions of indifference curve. What are the assumptions of indifference curve? As I said, the consumer is rational. So, he is not particularizing anything. He is rational. So, his aim to get maximum satisfaction. What is his aim? Maximum satisfaction. This is the first and foremost assumption of this indifference curve analysis. And utility cannot be measured, but it can be ranked. As I said already, utility is based on the psychology. It's a subjective matter. So it can't be measured, but it can be ranked or ordered. And the indifference curve approach is based on law of diminishing marginal utility. And then the consumer is consistent. The assumption is called the assumption of transitivity. That is, if the consumer prefers the combination A to B, then B to C, so he is rational. First he is preferring A, then A to B he is preferring, then B to C, and C to A. That means he is preferring more than combination of A to B and B to C. Then he should prefer A to C. So if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, and then A is greater than C. So his assumption is transitivity. That means he prefers the combination of all the goods. If you give two goods, he will give preference to this. If you give the third one, he will give the preference to the second one, isn't it? And if you get the first one again, he will give preference to the third one. So he will find the preference, he will give the rank between the two goods. If you give A and B, he will give importance to A, he will not give importance to B. Then if you hide A and if you are giving another product, then he will prefer only B, because this is well known to him. Then if you give A again, he will give preference to C, another good new product. So his preference will be the combination of all the goods. And then an indifference curve schedule. Indifference curve schedule. As I said, the consumer is using two commodities, various combination of two commodities, which is giving him the maximum satisfaction. He is consuming two products to get maximum satisfaction. So it is a table, shows the different combination of two goods. Here we are going to take two products, one is apple, the another one is oranges, and we are going to mark the points. Okay. If he consume one apple, he will get 20 oranges instead. So as I said already, if you are increasing the one product, the another product will be decreased, as I said already, isn't it? So he has to get equal maximum satisfaction by consuming both the goods. So in this RSTUV, I have given 5 points. Now let me draw this tabular column schedule to show the indifference curve. Here the combinations are arranged in the way that consumer is indifferent among the combinations. So while he is consuming more apples, he is consuming less oranges. So he is better off nor worse off whichever combination he chooses. Whatever combination he chooses, he will not lose anything. He will get maximum satisfaction. Now let us see the combination as a curve. Let me draw the indifference curve based on this table. X-axis and Y-axis I have drawn. What are the things we are going to do? We are going to mark apple here and oranges. Apple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is going to consume 5 apples. At the same time, he is going to consume the oranges also. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. So, we will give 4 like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. While he is consuming 1 apple, he is consuming 20 oranges. 2 apple, 15 oranges. So 12 to 4 points, isn't it? 13, 14, 15, 16. So 15 oranges. While he is consuming 3, he is consuming 2. While he is consuming 4 apples, he is consuming only 9. At last, he is, 4 apples, 10. 3rd apple, 12. So it should be straight. Sorry guys. Ten, 11, 12, 10. And then 9. Isn't it? Now, if you draw a curve, so this is the point R, S, T, U, V. Isn't it? So, different combination of 2 commodities. See, I have presented in the diagram. The consumer gets different points. When such points are connected, a curve is obtained. Okay, we are getting a curve by joining the combination of the goods he consumed. This is indifference curve. Why they have given this? See here, the curve is indifference curve because the indifference curve is the locus of all combination of commodities from which the consumer derives. So he is consuming 2 goods. So he is consuming the maximum satisfaction while he is consumed in the different combination of goods. See here, it is called iso-utility curve or equal satisfaction curve. The another name for iso-utility curve or equal satisfaction because he is consuming both the goods. He is consuming 2 goods. From both goods he is getting maximum satisfaction. So this is also called as iso-utility curve and equal satisfaction curve. See here, the apple in the x-axis and the oranges are in the y-axis. The point R is the combination of 1 apple and 20 oranges. Yes, 2 apples and 15 oranges, isn't it? Based on the table I have done. When join all the 5 points, R, S, T, U, V, we get the indifference curve. So in all the points, he is getting the maximum satisfaction. So by consuming 2 goods, he gets maximum satisfaction. This is called indifference curve approach or indifference curve, iso-utility curve or indifference curve. Here, we can also draw the several indifference curve representing the several combination of goods. For example, in the indifference map is a family or a collection of set of curves corresponding different level of satisfaction. That means While I am drawing the curve, I got a picture of this, isn't it, girls? So this is IC. This indifference curve can be drawn as a family or set of collection. What do you mean by that? We can draw IC1. Then IC2, that means the combination maybe varies. Here he will give less amount of oranges and more apples, or more apples, more oranges and less apples, whatever it may be. This is called indifference map. It's a set of indifference curve or a family of indifference curve, shows the combination of two various goods to get the maximum satisfaction. So here IC1, the indifference curve IC1, IC2 and IC3. Here they have given IC1, IC2 and IC3. IC2, IC3 they have given, or indifference mode. The upper IC is representing the higher level of satisfaction. So IC1 refer the higher level of satisfaction. And this is lower level or very low level of satisfaction. So this is called indifference curve map. So this is a set of IC curve which shows the higher level of satisfaction and also the low level of satisfaction. So this is called the indifference curve analysis. And then next we are going to see the marginal rate of substitution in the next class. Thank you, girls.